I'm Melanie Johnson along with my co-host Jen Foster. We are both 13-time best-selling authors. We've published over 2,500 books and made all of our authors #1 bestsellers. We own Elite Online Publishing. If you want to become a best-selling author, look us up at eliteonlinepublishing.com. Now, welcome to the podcast that shares secrets from top industry experts that show you how to get lasting success and results. This is the Elite Expert Insider Podcast. Hey everyone, it's Melanie Johnson. How are you doing? I am here with Jen Foster, my business partner at Elite Online Publishing. How you doing, Jen?
Hey, it's a great day.
It sure is, because we have one of our newest favorite authors on, DeAnna Lorraine, today. She's incredible. She just took the bull by the horns when I contacted her, and I don't chase authors very often, but I did chase her down and to write her book. And she's like, yes, I'm going to do it. And in record time, we got her book out. So I'm so excited to have her on today. Welcome, DeAnna. Thanks for coming on our show.
Thank you. It's great to be here, Melanie and Jen, with Elite Online Publishing. Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday. Tell us a little bit about how you got started in writing the book.
Yeah, well, all of a sudden, I was kind of towards the end of my congressional campaign in February or March. And then, and I was in San Francisco, I was running for Congress against Nancy Pelosi. And then I get an email saying, God, I loved your stuff. I saw your big Pelosi for Prison banner. And you seem like a fiery, conservative go-getter. And I think that you should have a book. And I'm a book publishing company. I represent a book publishing company called Elite Online Publishing. You should have a book that talks about your platform and your congressional story and everything, so people know more about you. I said, okay. Well, the only thing is I'm like kind of near my campaign, near the end of the campaign. But, it does sound interesting, and we'll see what happens. And then I ended my campaign. The election was there, the March primary election. And then all of a sudden coronavirus hit. It just swept through the nation, swept through the world. We had to go on lockdowns in California. We had the most draconian lockdowns here. We had to go to, we had to get quarantined. And finally, after about a month or so of sitting in quarantine on my butt, I thought, you know what? Because she had contacted me a few more times, and I said, I think I should write this book. Well, it's fresh in my mind. The campaign is fresh in my mind, and all this crazy stuff is happening in America. This is a great time to write this book, and I really don't have much else to do. I might as well make myself useful. So I wrote my book, and I was determined to have it available by this summer, and we met our goal. We did. To have it done by the summer.
So I want you to talk about that a little bit, because so many people are like, to write a book, and it can take them forever to write it. And that's what I loved, is you decided to do it, and in record time, you got it done. So give some people some tips of what it took for you to write this book so fast, and how you did, and what your strategy was to get the content done.
Sure. When I just was determined to do it, because I thought, okay, if I write 30 or 10 pages a day even, right? If I write 10 pages a day, 10 times 30, that's 30 days in a month, that's 300 pages, right? So if I just kind of think about things like that, okay, if I only write 1 or 2 hours a day, then gosh, I could certainly get this book done in 2 to 3 months. That was my strategy. I really didn't want it to drag on for very long. I definitely knew that this is a timely political book, so it has to be here by the summer, before the rest of the year, and before this major election. And by the way, I haven't even said what the book's name is. It's Taking Back America: Campaign Secrets I Learned Battling Nancy Pelosi and the Swamp, and How to Be a Fearless Firebrand for America's Future. Now, the paperback book is 250 pages, okay? And I thought, if I can just write 2 hours a day, I could be done with this book within 2 to 3 months. That's really how I planned it. And sure enough, I was. And in fact, I was done sooner than I wanted to be, that I was hoping to be. But then some certain things happened with the news cycle that made me want to go back in and revise things a little bit more, and revise the ending and everything so that I can include it. But it's really just a matter of self-discipline and knowing when enough is enough, because there's an instinct to just kind of keep perfecting things.
Yes.
You got to know when enough is enough, You have to self-discipline yourself to write at least 2 hours every day, more if you can, and segment off times where you don't answer the phone, you don't answer email, nothing. You just have to turn everything off and all distractions, and you have to commit to those 2 hours at least a day to get it done. And I find that once you're in a good workflow and your writing is starting to flow, sometimes you can write for 3 hours and it just kind of, you can just flow and it doesn't feel like a lot of time. But then, of course, Elite Online Publishing is what made it all happen. Because with you guys and having a writing coach and having an editor and working alongside you and these people, it really helped to get the ideas out of my head and have someone to bounce the ideas off of and edit, where normally it could have taken a year to get that kind of feedback or get that kind of editing. You guys were able to do it really fast and make changes really fast. So everything just flowed quickly and we were able to make it.
That's great. So are you the type of writer who sits down and types it out, or do you do longhand, or do you talk and record yourself? How do you normally write?
Back in the day when I first wrote my first book, I was envisioning myself as being a writer that would talk and just talk how I would think, and then it would just write, it would dictate. But I became a writer who would just type, because I have ideas in my head and I type and I type. My editor though, your editor that you provided for me, they don't, it's hard for them sometimes because I just don't stop. I just have a brain dump. And instead of editing while I'm writing, I just go and worry about the editing later. Yeah. And it's, I think, the better strategy, because if you're editing so much while you're going through it the first time, you're going to interrupt your thought flow. So you got to just write and kind of just dump it all out for the first round. And then you edit afterwards and it gets better and better.
Yeah, you can't edit a blank page, right? So you've just got to.
Yeah, you just got to go. And again, it's very important to have no distractions and be strict with your friends and your family. Put your phone on silent, because when you get distracted, it really interrupts your workflow. The other thing is getting all your research out of the way, so you should spend a couple days or a week gathering all your research for the book so that you don't have to fill in the blanks later. If you could get all your research done beforehand, whatever sources you need for the book to back up your claims and stuff, that's helpful to do before. And then you got everything you need to call on. And then I would say the third most important piece to getting this done in time is a team. All of you, the team is what really, really helps to get things done on time. And you guys were, thinking, okay, this is kind of a steep goal to have everything done in 3 months and to have everything done by the summer and the book published by the summer. But I knew I could do it, and I knew you guys could do it. And I was happy that we were able to do it because it's such a timely book for this election season.
And that's what makes us a little different, is that we're so agile that we can move really fast.
Yeah.
And even what I'm noticing too, I'm seeing every newscaster out there right now is pre-launching a book. So have you noticed that?
Yeah, all of a sudden so many books are coming out right now. It's interesting. And by the way, it was so interesting. There's a conservative public figure named Joy Villa. And I don't know if you've heard of her, but she's just launched a book. And it's a good thing we didn't go with the word badass, because she's coming out with her book and it's called Kick-Ass Conservative. So I think that would have been too close. And I just, some things, when you just have an intuitive thought, you just have to follow that intuition, and it may not make sense. But at the end of the day, I said, I don't think we should go with the word badass. And I'm glad we went with the word firebrand instead of badass, because it just would have been too close to Kick-Ass Conservative when her book just came out yesterday.
Yeah. And let's talk about that. This title and subtitle, you don't just automatically think, oh, here's the title and subtitle and they're amazing. You have to kind of brainstorm and think about them and sleep on them and decide what is going to be the best subtitle and title. So you want to talk about that journey a little bit, DeAnna?
Yes, that was a very difficult time for me, because I was pulling out my hair. I was getting gray hair. I feel like it was just so stressful because I really, really wanted the perfect title, and I was so perfectionistic about it. And when I first came to you, the original title was, what was it? God, it was, I think it was 25 lessons I learned fighting Nancy Pelosi in the swamp. Yeah. 25 lessons I learned.
That's what you started out with when you came to us.
Yeah. And I thought, okay, that's my title. And then you guys encouraged me to to branch out a little bit more, because even though it was a good title, it maybe wasn't as explanatory or powerful as it could be. You saw bigger potential for the title. So we brainstormed and we went back and forth, and that title, refining the title, was probably a month-long process for me. And meanwhile, of course, I was writing the book and everything still, but that final title and then the subtitle was a nitpicky, process of refining. And I'm glad we did, because you provide a lot of insight, asking me, well, not only do you want to say what you're doing in the book, but what are people going to get from the book? What can people expect from reading the book, and how could they be more improved from reading the book? What do they what do they take away? And that was something I hadn't thought of to put in the title.
Yeah.
So that led us to put how to be a fearless firebrand for America's future, because it just added that extra oomph, that extra powerful takeaway.
Yeah.
And maybe some people aren't super excited about, finding out my campaign against Nancy Pelosi, but they really want to know how to be a fearless firebrand for America's future. So it really provides something for everybody in this book.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have gotten all that guidance and refined the title in that way without your help, of course. This is definitely a team process.
Well, and you were really vulnerable in your book, and you really talk about the whole process of your campaign and the mistakes you made and the things you did right, and all the challenges that you faced. And I think that's really good, because then someone can read the book, whether they're running for an office or not. But even just learning from your experiences, I think it's great that you were vulnerable like that in the book.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a vulnerable book. You'll learn a lot about different things, about what really happened during the campaign, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Why I say no nudes in the when you're running for Congress, and you should be careful about who you're friends with, who you date, who you take pictures with. Someone's always watching. So there's a lot of things in this book that will help every person thinking about running for office, currently running for office, or you're just wanting to make a bigger impact in America, because we need you to help take back America. This is not a solo job just for President Trump. This is all of us working together, taking back America, okay? And this book will empower and enable you to do that with me.
So talk a little bit about the impact now that you've had the book out, the response that you've gotten from the people on your wonderful live feeds that you do every day on Twitter and Facebook. What's the response that you've gotten?
I've gotten great responses. I've got almost all fantastic reviews for the book. The only, there's 2 bad reviews, and those are trolls. I know exactly who those people are, and they're just, they're like hireatroll.com people. But everybody else have been fantastic 5-star reviews. They love the book. All of my, when you're an author and you do have a book that's kind of vulnerable and personal, you can feel a little insecure at times, and you can wonder, how is this going to be received? Oh my gosh, I hope this is received well. So to get the feedback that, wow, I love this book, and you're such a fighter, and you're so strong and intelligent, and this book inspires me and empowers me, that was my goal for the book. So to have that resonate with people and have my goal be fulfilled when people read the book, there's just nothing better than that. It's very fulfilling, and it means that I was on the target, and the book is well received. So people all over social media are super excited about the book, fantastic reviews, and it's only going to get better because the paperback version just came out this week. So, before it was just the Kindle version, but there's a whole group of people that just don't like reading on Kindle. They like reading, the old school way. And I'm really excited now to have this big next launch for the paperback version.
I love that.
And the paperback version is beautiful too.
Really?
You can really see all the little details, like the stars that I have for the separators, and the font styles, the pictures in the book. There's a lot of cool little details that it took time to come up with, but we did, and I just couldn't be more proud of the way it looks. It just looks really, really beautiful and really striking, actually.
And it feels really good too. We have got a matte finish on it.
Yeah, the matte finish was beautiful. I loved this finish. I don't know, when I saw it, I just felt like it looked just a really beautiful, high quality book.
Yeah. Well, I want people to go and check it out on Amazon.com. So if you're on Amazon.com and you type in DeAnna Lorraine in the search, And you might have to change it to books, so you're in the category of books. But when you're there and you search her, you can find her Amazon author page. And I don't know if you've gotten any feedback from your author page yet, but that page on Amazon really promotes you. And I'm so excited that, you already had a lot of content when you typed in your name on Google search, but what Amazon does is it kind of brings it to the top. Especially we added the blog, we're going to be adding her blog to the Amazon author page, which refreshes her Amazon author page every time she writes a new blog, or we can put her podcast feed there as well. And that will boost the page so it goes higher and higher on Google search. But it's great for people because they can see the videos, see your pictures, read your bio, and everything before they even buy your book. So I just love how Amazon promotes you like that.
That is so cool. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, you'll have to send we'll have you post your link to your Amazon author page where people can follow you there as well. And you can put events there too.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it's actually really easy to go to. You just go to Amazon.com and then /author /DeAnna Lorraine.
Okay.
And you just have to spell her name correctly. So 2 N's in Anna, and Lorraine has 2 R's.
Yeah. DeAnna Lorraine.
And you know what else I love about your book and the title that we went back and forth with, we started talking about that, is when we do the title, it's creating your brand, right? So we were really like, well, is your brand fighting Pelosi? Really, the brand is Taking Back America, and that's what you stand for. So we wanted to create your whole brand. Tell us where you think you're going to take your brand in the future with leveraging your book and your content. What do you see? What do you see in the road ahead?
Yeah, because I may not run again for Nancy Pelosi's seat if I run again for office, because if I run again, knowing what I know now, and that it's just, you really turn your life upside down when you run for office, if you want to do it right. And if I run for office again and turn my life upside down, I'm going to put my whole heart and life into it. I want to win. I want to actually be sitting in Congress. Right. So that would mean that I would probably have to run in a more winnable seat in a more winnable district. So it was a good thing that I didn't, have my main title be Fighting Nancy Pelosi. Taking Back America is really the soul of my brand.
Right.
I am fighting every single day on the front lines to take back America, to take back our country. And I am very bold about it, So what I'm doing is, right now I have a podcast of my own. I broadcast every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's called Taking Back America. And I'm, and I go over all the latest breaking news and what we can do to take back America. I want to very badly. One of my dreams this year was be doing speaking tours, speaking on college campuses, high school campuses, and churches and whatnot. Now, with coronavirus, I'm not quite sure how feasible that is, but as soon as things open back up again, that's what I really want to do, is be speaking at campuses and churches. I want to be maybe helping President Trump in some way take back America. So maybe some sort of a communications positions for him, or somehow be a part of his team or his reelection team. So there's a lot of different avenues I could take, but being at the forefront of the fight every day, whether it's through podcasts, media, or speaking, that's really where my heart is right now. And that's where I think my brand is taking me. And that, and then obviously running for office again is a strong possibility too. And all of that is tied under the umbrella of Taking Back America.
A great way to leverage your book to accomplish a lot of those things. We say now that you have this paperback physical book that you can sign and send a note with, you could send this to all the producers at a news station. You can send it to all the powers of be that are on Trump's campaign that you want to have it in their hands. I mean, can you imagine even the local news station where 10 people are all carrying your book, they all got it delivered that day, signed to you. They're like, who is this person? Oh my gosh, I got her. Everyone's gotten her book today. So you become the topic of conversation, and it's going to be on everybody's desk, and they're going to be looking at you day after day. And that's a great imprint. So there's a lot of ways, whether you're running for office or you're using the book for your business, a lot of ways to leverage that book.
That's true. And we need to, let's do that next week. Actually, I need to be sending that to all of the news stations and everything, and do a big campaign around that.
Yeah, and it's not a big investment. So when you have your own book, if you're buying it wholesale, this is a $3, $4 investment wholesale because she's the author, so she gets to do that. And that's not a huge investment to send out 100 books, right? 1,000 books is $4,000. 100 books is only $400. So it's not a big investment to make a really big impact. When you think of someone who is running for office, they're spending thousands of dollars on different ad campaigns and things like that. And the book hangs around forever and is in somebody's hands. They never throw it away. Like if they get a little flyer on you in the mail, it's going to go in the trash, but they're not going to throw a high quality book, high content book like this away. They're going to keep it.
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait for that. And again, I think the sooner that we do that, the better, because, then we can have time before the election season to really, get on TV shows and everything.
Definitely. Yep. So any other tips for anyone who's writing a book or wants to publish a book?
Well, obviously, if you're wanting to write a book or publish a book, you are the company to go to, Elite Online Publishing, because they can do it in a timely manner. They will help you. They will give you coaching. They will edit. And I just didn't have the time to wait a year or so to get an agent, a book agent, and whatever. And it's funny, if I had gone that route, it would have been even longer, because at that time too, I wasn't expecting coronavirus to be sweeping through like this. I don't think many big publishing houses are really taking on new clients right now or something. I just don't think. I think things have kind of changed a little bit. So it really was good that I followed my instincts and went with you, Elite Online Publishing. You guys will get it out in a very timely manner and in a very well-produced professional manner. So aside from hiring Elite Online Publishing, be self-disciplined, get a group of people who support you together, and get them really excited for the book and ready. So you keep them updated every step of the way. And then just go for it. Just go for it. Even if you're a little bit worried, you don't know exactly how it's going to turn out. That's what your team is for. But just go for it, because you'll be so happy you did, and you'll regret if you didn't get that book out there. So just do it.
Love it. Well, tell us where they can go to find your podcast again, and where they can learn more information about you.
Yeah, go to my my Twitter, which is really, really active. The president retweets me every once in a while. Go to my Twitter at DeAnna for Congress. That's DeAnna for Congress on Twitter. And then you can see all my information there, including my podcast, which I broadcast on Periscope and YouTube and Facebook. Go to YouTube at DeAnna Lorraine. And then my website is also DeAnnaLorraine.com. That's DeAnnaLorraine.com. And of course, you can get this beautiful book via Kindle or hardcover on Amazon.
Awesome. We'll put those links up in the show notes. And thank you so much for being on our show.
Yes. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for being such a rock star and action taker and making a difference in the world. So remember to subscribe to our podcast and leave a comment. We would love to hear from you. And if there's other people you'd like to have on, let us know. And if you want someone to publish your book, reach out to us at eliteonlinepublishing.com. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Hey, are you looking to increase your revenue, build credibility, and elevate your brand? This podcast is brought to you by Elite Online Publishing, an innovative publishing and full spectrum marketing company. They will publish and market your book to make it a #1 bestseller. Becoming an author is the best way to market your business. So contact them at eliteonlinepublishing.com today. All of their authors become #1 bestsellers.